Good morning, everyone. Welcome to more Stamping with Laura. This week, I am just loving stamping and getting on with you guys to chat with you all. So yeah, I'm stamping again this morning, and I have just a little bit of free time. I am so sorry about yesterday and having to jump off so quickly. I knew I had a friend coming over to pick up a stamp order, but I wasn't sure when. And of course, I jumped on and Brad was gone. And so I had to answer the door and everything. But I did want to share with you that I did complete the cards. And I did want to share the finished samples of that paper pumpkin. So while everyone is still getting on, then I will share with you those cards that I completed. I even decorated the envelopes as well. So the note card style I did here, and I actually, the sample says to do it in the bumblebee, but I actually did one in the evening evergreen to go with like a monochromatic look. So so there's all of those. The thanks is really light. I actually wish the white on the thanks was a smidge bolder or darker because yeah, I just feel like it's a little light. But otherwise, I do like that little extra bling with all of those sequins. And then the coordinating envelopes, I did 3 little flowers in the 2 corners on the front, and then I also did them on the lip too. So a nice little coordinating envelope there. Super, super cute. And then my favorite one is still this one. I just love those foofy flowers and the way it just looks so 3D, and I don't know, it's just super stunning. So this one is actually my favorite. And I did the envelopes for these a little different. Sometimes I did just one in the corners in the front and one on the top lip. A couple of the other ones I did like 3, kind of like I did with the green one and everything. So there is card number 2. This one is, like I said, this one is my favorite one for sure. I don't know. I love the colors and all of that extra foo-foo-ness with the greenery. Or it's not green, so I can't really call it all greenery. And then this one is the last one, and I actually thought this one would probably be my favorite because of the colors being pink and purple, but it's actually my least favorite. Again, I really wish that vellum was a little bit bolder with that white print of the flower so that it stood out more, but you guys know how I am. I'm the one who like presses too hard with the markers and wants that bold, colorful look. So it is really pretty as a subtle look. I just prefer a more bold look, and so that's my personal preference. So this one is actually not my favorite card. The other one is my favorite. And again, I have those envelopes. Like this one, I just did 3 on the back lip. Some of them I did 3, like 2 in the front, 1 in the back sort of thing for that card. But I did complete all 9 cards of Paper Pumpkin. So that makes me super happy to have 9 more cards in my stash. So I love that. And I still had a lot of leftovers. So you guys know how much I love Paper Pumpkin and how much like goodie you get. So like, of course, you still have the stamps and the 2 ink spots to be able to reuse. But then I also had some leftover twine, leftover sequins, and leftover labels and everything too. So super awesome to be able to use for future projects and really enjoy the kit as much as you can. Here's the 2 ink spots that came with it. I knew they were around here somewhere. But it was the Bumblebee and the Evening Evergreen, which is one of the new in colors. So super fun. I did have a link up yesterday when I did the video for that so that you could click and get the July kit. I didn't do the link for today because I did a link for the sweet strawberry. So if you would like a link to Paper Pumpkin, then just give me a shout out, or you can go to paperpumpkin.com and sign up, and then just make sure to mark me as your demonstrator, and then I can help you out with everything. And of course, you'll get those monthly benefits that all my customers get each month. So, okay, so now we've completed yesterday's with showing off those Paper Pumpkin samples. Of course, I also wanted to share with you, because I remembered to grab it, this is the free stamp set of the month. This is the Create with Friends Fabulous Scrolly stamp set. Lots of great words and everything on it too. So all orders this month of $75 or more will get this stamp set free from me as an exclusive offer. And Stampin' Up! Is offering free shipping tomorrow, Thursday, June 24th, for orders of $50 or more. So you can get free shipping, you can get the free stamp set, and you can get lots of stamping goodies. So mark your phones for a reminder tomorrow, free shipping. Woo woo. Okay. Now on to today's project. I am using the sweet strawberry and the strawberry punch because the strawberry punch is back in stock. Yay! I know you guys who have ordered it and it's on back order, and who have been waiting to order it because it's been unorderable. It is now available, and so now I feel like it's time for me to play with it and share it, because I didn't really want to share it and then say, oh, by the way, it's not available right now. So now I can do that, and I'm so excited. So this is the card that I made, and it's got that super sweet coordinating inside. And I love how this just looks like a strawberry vine and everything. And you could always elongate that and make a bigger greeting, or add more of the flowers all around if you wish to do that. So I actually made these really simple. The base color of the card is Poppy Parade. And then I just used 2 pieces of Whisper White. These measure 4 by 5 1/4. And there's one for the front and one for the inside. I am actually making 2 of these because I had leftovers from my stamp club, and I wanted to make them for my stash. So I am going to go ahead and make 2 cards, because it's always easier to make multiples than it is to make a whole bunch of different ones. So first we're going to make sure this is nice and inked up. I felt like the middle wasn't. And then stamp this one sort of up high, and then ink it up again, and stamp this one a little down low. And again, you can kind of leave that gap there so that you can fit a greeting in, and you can make that as wide or as skinny as you want. Kind of depends on how wide your greeting is, or how far apart and how much you want to show. Like this one, some of my strawberries are hardly showing, but you could always have more of them show and do it farther apart. I didn't want to like show more strawberry and cover up so much of the leaves and flowers, so that's why I kind of went a little bit tighter. So now we're done with our black. I just used regular Memento black for that one, and we're also done with that stamp. Now for the flowers, I actually did the centers in Daffodil Delight. This is the dark, but you could always use light or dark or any yellow of your choice. And I just colored in the centers of those flowers. I always get people ask me which tip do I use for coloring, and I find that this is a personal preference question, because I used to always use the marker tip, and I liked that like fine tip, because I actually felt like the marker tip was more fine than the fine tip pen side, because you had that like little feathered edge. But if that feathered edge gets a little bit like used, like the more you use the marker, the more that feathered tip kind of frays out, if you will, then I find that the pen tip actually works better. So I always used to use the marker tip and I never used the pen tip because I just liked that like thinness to it. But now I'm finding that I actually like the pen tip more and I feel like I'm using that more. Now, if you're doing a large area of coloring, it's better to use the marker tip and sort of like work your way through it like that. But again, I find it's just personal preference and just happens to be how I feel that day. And then for these leaves, I'm actually just going straight down the vein of the leaf in the dark. This is Granny Apple Green Dark. And then I'm just going to go over the leaf with Granny Apple Green Light. One of the things about this is there's no like right or wrong way to do it. I just kind of quickly go over it. That's kind of my style of coloring, is not necessarily doing it super perfectly, but I will say I'm definitely a stay in the lines. I feel like if I go out, it doesn't have that cute watercolor look. It just looks like I messed up coloring and I'm like a little kid or something. I like the look when other people do it, but I feel like I can't. I kind of think that's that like bold, perfect, clean look that I have. And this is just adding a little extra like texture and dimension to the leaves. You could always just color them all in the light or the dark Granny Apple Green, but I just find that this just adds a little extra color and texture to it. Okay, so there's all of my greenery. And now I'm just going to go in and fill in with the light Granny Apple Green. And so this one I'm going to use the marker tip because I'm just going to kind of swirl around and fill in, going over those dark lines as well. Do you guys like to color? Do you find it soothing? Do you find it annoying? There's some of those things that like I find a little tedious. Like this, I don't mind because it's minimal. But I have to say I'm not a huge fan of coloring because I'm just kind of like, let's get it done and move on to the next like task, the next layer. And then I feel like as I go on, I feel like I get sloppier because I'm like ready to just move to the next task. And I find coloring on camera to be super slow. So I'm like, I'm trying to hurry, because you guys are probably all like, okay, I'm bored with that. But I don't know, maybe you guys enjoy watching someone color, and it's sort of one of those like soothing things. I guess this is the point where we chit chat. So last night for supper, we ended up having roast beef, and it was amazing. And hung out outside because the weather here in Illinois is also amazing, although the allergies are not. So shout out to all my other allergy sufferers. Together we will get through this, I think. Okay, so now I have, hi Mary, welcome, good morning. Oh, well, thank you. Okay, so now I have my base down. I'm gonna go ahead and add these to our card front. Again, my adhesive is gone. My card front is Poppy Parade. Which I probably should have folded my card bases first. Do you guys like to make a card like literally from the bottom up, or do you kind of move all around or like focus on the focal point and then build from there? A lot of times I do get the card base ready first, but then some other times I kind of start on like the focal point and then I'm like, okay, now where's my card base? So I guess it just kind of depends on the mood that I'm in or the design I'm going for. Like sometimes I want to figure out my design before I figure out my card base. So I guess I'm a little bit of all over the place. Okay, so there I have my 2 card bases, and now it's time to make some strawberries and stamp those. So we're just gonna set these aside, and I'm gonna bring in my Poppy Parade ink and some scrap Whisper White. So there's 2 images for the strawberry. There's like a solid textured one, and then there's like an outline image with like little detail. So there's these 2 here. So with the solid outside one, that one I stamp off, and I don't know, you can stamp off like 2 to 3 times depending on how light you want your strawberry. And then this one I did in full strength. So I'm actually gonna look at my punch and stamp it with like the wide end down. And I'm gonna stamp a whole mess of these. Ooh, actually I'm not just yet, because you just never know when one of them is going to punch out the one next to it. Okay, so now I need a piece of scrap paper to stamp off. I think I'm going to stamp a couple with stamped off once and a couple stamped off twice. So when I say stamped off, I mean I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to stamp it down again, and then stamp it on my project. And so it's got that real light look. Sorry I didn't do that in camera, but don't worry, we have 1,000,001 more to go. Okay. So that was 3 stamps. So this time I'm going to stamp it down once and then stamp it on my project number 2. A little bit darker. This one will stamp like a quick stamp, which means a little bit more ink will be on there, and 3. So you kind of have like 3 different shades, 4 different shades here. Full strength, and then like 2 hard stamps, that's the 3rd one, 2 light stamps, that's the 3rd one, and then 1 stamp off. Like, so you can really kind of work with as many different shades as you want of that strawberry. I almost called it a watermelon. And you get a fabulous little white flower with that punch. I like to use my punches upside down like this so that I can line up my strawberry and my image and then punch. And see how it kind of goes into the side a little bit? That's why I didn't want to stamp a whole mess of strawberries and then find out I was punching out the next door strawberry. And I also find that stamping the full strength image first is typically the best way to go because you can see through a stamped off image a lot better than you can see through a full strength image. Just because there's less ink on the stamp. So many cute little strawberries. Who's a strawberry fan out there? Claire absolutely loves strawberries. I can't really say I'm a biggest fan, but I'm also not a huge fruit fan. I pretty much just like apples. But Claire absolutely loves strawberries. So I'm just going to pull off some of this and see if I can get a few more strawberries out of this cardstock. What is your favorite fruit? Is it strawberries or do you prefer a different fruit? Again, my favorite is apples. Favorite and only, pretty much. I'm not a huge fan of the seeds. Okay. So I think we're done with our scrap paper. And now we just need to pick out all of our strawberries in this little mess. And I'll pick out all the flowers to save for later. And then the rest will all go in the trash. Okay, and then for our leaves, I actually have a strip of Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to just stamp the outline in Granny Apple Green. So I didn't actually stamp both leaves. I just used Granny Apple Green cardstock. So I just stamped the outline like leaf image on the regular cardstock. So Granny Apple Green onto Granny Apple Green. And this is one of the, whoa, I almost stamped that into the Poppy Parade. This is one of them that does use a lot of cardstock like around it, so you have to be careful. But I think I might have done it better this time to where I didn't. You love peaches? Peaches are my husband's favorite. Oh, this first one's not going to work because I stamped it too close to the edge. I find peaches to be so finicky. Like, you know, they like feel like they have to be like soft and juicy, but like that only lasts for like a day and then you missed your time. Okay, so now we have a few of those. I won't do a million of them. I actually just used I used 3 strawberries and 2 leaves for the front. And then on the inside, I stamped the strawberries and used 2 leaves. So on the inside, that other piece of Whisper White that we need, which I'll be honest, I actually stamped these upside down. That is not how I like intended for them to be. I wanted them to be like on their end, but I totally stamped them like a pear instead of a strawberry. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do them going right side up and see. Maybe I actually like the mistake one better than the actual one. And then we're going to stamp the inside. Stamp off once though. You don't have to stamp off once. I just like that lighter look. Like if I stamped it like this, it's just really dark. So like you can't see that outer line and those little seeds as much as you can in this one. So that's why I like to stamp off once, but you don't have to. So see, it almost just makes it look like that one is more ripe and then this one. So actually that one probably looks tastier than this one does. But again, stamping off once does help you be able to see where you're stamping. And then I used the little glue dots to add my leaves to it. Just because it's really easy to add a little glue dot than it is to try to get adhesive on such a small thing. And I always have 1,000,001 of these left over from kits and things like that. But you can also purchase mini glue dots. They just come on a roll. Okay, so which one do you guys like better? Do you like the ones where they're upside down or the ones where they're right side up? I mean, obviously, if you set strawberries on a counter, then they're going to look, you know, like kind of like both of these. So it doesn't really look upside down or right side up, but let me know which one do you like. Let's do leaves on the bottom or leaves on the top, since I don't know if you could actually say that one is upside down or not. So yeah, just let me know. Do you prefer leaves on the bottom or leaves on the top? And then I'm stamping the greeting. That was so sweet of you. I think I need to re-ink my memento pad. That was so sweet of you. Okay, and then now we're ready to assemble the front. So I have my 3 strawberries and my 2 leaves, and I need my greeting piece. So the greeting piece, I actually just did a strip of Whisper White and a strip of Basic Black. And I had both of them end at the same spot, but there's black showing on the top and the bottom. So I did a little fatter banner in case someone wanted to do happy birthday or anything like that. So there's happy birthday, you sweet thing. And then there's also the thank you. So I guess since I did that was sweet of you, I need to kind of stick with the thank you. But this is one of the fatter panels, but that's okay. So I just stamped the little thank you down, and now I'm going to adhere these two together. And if there's just a little hair hanging off, you can always trim that. And then now it's time to assemble. And I did all of my strawberries on Stampin' Dimensionals. You guys know me, I'm a dimensional overuser. So I am going to put 3 on this one and 3 on this one. But I'm going to wait to add dimensionals to that third one because I'm going to overlap them a little bit and I don't want a double dimensional spot. So I will show you that here in a second. So this little strawberry is going to kind of go up top here. So it kind of covers up that one flower a little bit. And then I'm just going to use some mini glue dots to secure the leaf. And again, you can have as much or as little showing as you wish. So then this is going to go here. And then this one I'm going to put down low. And then this one I'm going to kind of overlap. So I really just need dimensionals on this side. I don't need a dimensional over here. So only on that side, which is here and here. But just to be safe, I'll add a little dab of adhesive. And then my little glue dots for my greenery. And I'm going to bring in my greeting again to see. I think I'm just going to kind of put it over the two of them like that. And then when it comes to the greeting, I also don't want a double dimensional. So I need dimensionals up in this corner and then over on this end. So before I take the backs off though, I'm going to kind of set it down to make sure I know where I'm at. And it'll kind of like interlock. It looks like I can put some in the middle. Perfect. So like you can see how it's kind of like tight in there because the dimensionals are in the grooves of where these strawberries are. But yet I don't need any over in this area. So I'm just going to add a little dab of adhesive there so that it sits on top of that strawberry. And pop that in the grooves. But we're still not done. There are these fabulous silver and clear epoxies. And there are circles, diamonds, and droplets. I really thought about doing the droplets as like the little seeds, but then I felt like I would need to do one on every little seed spot. And there's too many and the droplets are too big, so that wouldn't really work. So I went with the little clear ones and I did them in the flower centers. So I actually just put them over, whoops, I did not get that centered. Can I move it? Is it too late? Is it a lost cause? Oh no. Got it. On the centers of the flower, maybe I should use my take your pick. Although these are a little different because they're a little stickier. Maybe I'm just going to use my fingernail. Fingernail it is. So there we have that adorable thank you note. Oh, wait. Oh, and here's our inside that says, "That was so sweet of you." What do you guys think? Do you like the strawberries with the greenery up top or the greenery in the bottom? Let me know on that. And if you like, this is the bigger greeting that technically can hold the happy birthday, but I still did the thank you because I did that was so sweet of you on the inside. So I would have probably done like just for you if I did the happy birthday you sweet thing on the front. But there is some fun little strawberry, sweet strawberry creations using the sweet strawberry stamp set and the strawberry builder punch, which is now back in stock. Yay! So I left a link in the description box so that you guys can get this now that it is available again. And then you can recreate this same adorable card. I might be on again tomorrow just to remind you guys about the free shipping and to stamp again because I have so many projects to share with you guys. Although I'm finally, I think, starting to get a little bit caught up on some of my stamping projects that I had. After all, today's Wednesday and I've been on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So, but I still love stamping with you guys and just can't get enough because I love chit-chatting along with you guys while stamping. Then I don't feel so lonely. But anyway, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this strawberry card and create something sweet today as well. So love, hugs, and prayers. Stay safe in this heat, and I will see you guys all next time. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.